Misfits has competition. Oh boy, oh boy. I am not gonna lie, Kingpin, their previous events, in all honesty, have looked pretty poor and they haven't excited me at all. But for the first time, I'm actually really excited about a Kingpin event, and I think this tournament format is gonna be something quite exciting, something really new. And I also tuned in live to their draw that they did. I thought that was a really cool thing. Okay, I'll be honest with you, it ran on about 2 hours too long. It should have been way quicker. But for a first main event, something like this with top tier talent, it was pretty good, and the production quality behind it was unreal. I was really impressed with it. It's clear they're putting a lot of money into it, but we're gonna talk a little bit about some of the matchups that we got. I'll quickly go through the girls. The favorite in this girls is obviously Elbrook. Weirdly enough, her sister was in here as well. I won't lie, a tag team, her and her sister versus another two girls on a Misfits card, that would be really cool. But Elbrook, standing next to this Miss Danelka, was like, she's so much taller than Elle. So that's gonna be interesting. She's genuinely gonna be swinging like this. But I guess that's why we like these things. You're just gonna get some slightly weird matchups. My favorite for this is probably still Elle. I've never seen any of these other people fight. Somebody told me, I think it was that Daniela Hemsley, she was in a Sidemen 20 vs 1. So that's pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie, Whitney Johns looking across the ring and seeing Barbie looking like that. If she has that fucking makeup on in the ring, yeah, you might as well just sack it off, man. She's on some different shit. You've got to be unhinged to rock up like that. I mean, yeah, that is wild. I'm interested to see what Elbrook's sister's like. Is she gonna be any good? I don't know. The main stuff, the stuff that I'm really here to talk about is the fellas. Now, the draw was really exciting. We've got my mate Nate versus King Kenny. Now, I actually think that my mate Nate is going to be a bit of an underdog. Not too many people are talking about him, but let me tell you, if this guy has been training in them Thai boxing gyms, it's not going to be a joke. He's going to be good. I've seen some of the footage of him fighting before. He actually looks pretty good. He's not like standout, unreal. I just think he has a really good shot at beating Kenny. Now, Kenny's coming off the back of a loss as well. I don't want to make it seem doom or gloom, but I really think this is like a must win for Kenny if he wants to genuinely go further in this influencer boxing stuff. The good thing about this, about all these fights, is there's no one here that's like terrible. Like, it's all quite a high skill level in terms of crossover boxing, of course. I reckon Gibb was probably the only other person Kenny wouldn't have wanted, but I think this my mate Nate guy is going to be good. And he just seemed like he was there for a good time. I think he's going to win over quite a few fans with his like contagious energy, which was really good. We've got Jarvis versus Tom Zanetti. Now, Zanetti was an absolute warrior. I'm talking, this guy will just take bangs all night long. He seems like quite tapped in the head in that press conference, because the whole time he's absolutely wired and he's just there like, I just want to scrap. I don't give a shit who it is. All I want to do is fight. And I'm not gonna lie, that's probably someone that you should fear to a certain extent. Someone that just literally likes physical violence. Yeah, Tom Zanetti is gonna be a warrior in there. Jarvis looked great in his Mayweather stuff. I actually think this is gonna be a really, really good matchup. If Tom Zanetti can stop getting punched as much as he did in the Slim fight, he's gonna be in with a good chance of beating Jarvis. It's tough to call because Jarvis, I don't think he's fought in ages. I can't really tell. All I know is that it's gonna be a war if Tom Zanetti's in there. If I'm here to pick a winner, I think I would probably choose... We have to assume Tom's been training since the Slim fight. I'll go with him, Tom Zanetti, but yeah, we'll just have to see. The third fight here, and actually, this is probably the biggest disappointment that I found from this event, is they're only saying mystery fighter because they don't have anyone signed up. It's not like this person, they know who it is and they're just waiting for a cool way to sort of announce them. They just don't have this person ready, and that's pretty disappointing, honestly. It's just a little bit unfair on this Nunes guy, because whoever does step in and fights him, one, they're gonna know who they're fighting now, so they have like they're gonna have a lot more information. If they don't let that Nunes guy know as soon as possible, honestly, he could just, his training is gonna be a little bit weird. He's not gonna have any idea what he's supposed to be training for, so I feel a little bit bad for him. I mean, they tried to make it almost seem like Deji was gonna be that mystery. Don't get me wrong, I would love that. I think him in here would be great, fits in. I'd love to see Deji in this pool of fighters. I just think that he was presenting there, so they've obviously had the conversation, and for whatever reason, it hasn't worked out. So I'd be surprised if it is Deji. I'm trying to think off the top of my head. You know, Salt Puppy, I'm pretty sure he's tied up with Misfits. There's not too many to choose from here. We'll have to see. The Whindersson Nunes guy, for me, he probably looks like the weakest fighter on the card. I don't want his fucking 150 million fans or whatever he's got coming running after me here. It's just because because the footage that I watched, look, it was filmed on a fucking toaster, okay? I couldn't give you good feedback or good analysis. So we'll move on to what is most definitely the biggest fight of this event, which is Gibb versus Austin Mcbroom. I know Austin Mcbroom is so pissed that he got drawn Gibb in this first thing. Look, he would have known coming into this, if he's gonna make it to the end, he's gonna have to fight Gibb at some point. I just think he would have wanted a couple of like warm-up fights to really get back in his groove, and then the Gibb fight happens. And I think for him, this is literally the worst case scenario, is that he's gonna be going up against a guy that beat him. He is kind of holding on to the fact that he knocked Gibb down in the first round, but you know, once that was over, it was just all Gibb. And I will be very surprised. I mean, I just don't know anybody dedicated to training like Gibb is. He's just a completely different beast. And even when he's quiet, people might assume, oh, he's not doing anything. The guy literally just trained, and that's extremely scary to go up against. I'll be honest, Austin didn't look in that great shape. Can he be worse than the last time? I'm not too sure. This is a big moment for Austin Mcbroom, and once he drew Gibb, part of me just thought, you know, this guy ain't even gonna turn up for the fight. I don't know why. We're gonna have to see. I mean, he claimed he had COVID in the last one as well. I actually think Mcbroom is one of the strongest fighters on this card as well. From what I've understood, there is a loser's bracket, which could be quite interesting because we always want to make sure there's still always like 4 fights going on in these events instead of it just dropping down and then there's just one fight on the card at the end. That's going to be cool. Really buzzing for this. April 22nd, my winner. I'm going to put Gibb down as the winner here. I think across the entire tournament, I just don't think there's another guy that puts in the work like he does. And he's already proven that he has the ability, but my underdog shout is probably going to be my mate Nate. I think he's going to be really good, but it's a big fight. I think, like I said, for King Kenny, this is mega. He's going to need to at least put on a performance. If it loses, you know, throwing his hands and boxing well, I think that's probably okay. But if he just gets completely outboxed and maybe doesn't throw again, then I think it wouldn't surprise me if he just took a step back from it. This is a really exciting card. I'm buzzing for the event. Congrats to Kingpin for getting the hype train going. I think I saw Gibb have about 40,000 live concurrent. So there is clearly an interest in this format, in this card. And I can't wait to watch this thing on April 22nd. So yeah, let's go.